Good day everyone, my name is Maria Kądzielska and this is Poland Daily Culture. In this series of programs I'll be talking to an American musician who so much fell in love in Poland that he decided to stay for good. Just last month in November there was a premiere of his musical Letter from Warsaw. Ladies and gentlemen, Gary Guthman.
Nice to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
And thank you for being with us.
My pleasure.
But before we dig up more of his secrets, at first let's listen to his music. Gary, so your recent album and your music project with Sasha Stronin, Self-Portraits, is something extremely difficult, based on poetry of Miron Białoszewski, who is not one of the easiest poets, I would say. And you are the one to write music to it, jazz music. Tell me please, how difficult it was?
That's a very good question. The idea seemed extremely difficult. I speak intermediate level Polish, and yet this kind of new age poetry, even though Białoszewski wrote it in the 40s and 50s and 60s, is difficult in every language because it's all very open to interpretation. Each individual reader hears something entirely different. So my Polish wasn't quite good enough, but with Sasha's help, because her English is excellent, she was able to translate, or let's say interpret for me, her idea of the poems that she chose. So that actually worked really well. Between my intermediate Polish and Sasha's excellent English, we were able to create a story, an idea, an atmosphere. And once we did that, the musical ideas actually started to flow. This is one of the things that we composers hope happens, that once we get engaged in the idea, that musical ideas will start to come. And I have to say that they did, which I guess means in the aggregate that I was ready for this project. And after it was finished, looking back on it, I was ready. I love a challenge. And of course, I've always said there are no challenges in life, only opportunities. So this was a great opportunity to work with a fabulous singer who speaks and sings in both languages perfectly, in my opinion, and to work on poetry that represents her inner feelings, how she feels about the poetry. We found certain styles of music that, we listened to hundreds of different styles of music, different genres, and we found ideas together that suited each one, suited the energy or the atmosphere of each one of these poems. And sometimes there were 2 or 3 poems that were sort of cut and pasted together.
Rearranged, and you corrected Miron Białoszewski.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say we didn't correct, because we're not allowed. We had to stay with his text, but we did
rearranged.
We rearranged. We got permission to take certain elements of a few different poems and create one montage in 2 or 3 different, one of the songs was called Sen, Dream. This was a montage of 2 or 3 different poems, but it worked beautifully. So the short answer to your question, how difficult was it? It was less difficult than I thought it was going to be, because it was wonderful poetry. Working with Sasha is terrific. She's a wonderful musician and has great energy and a great spirit, sings perfectly. And it made it much easier for me to work with her and to create the entire album musically.
The Self-Portraits album about Miron Białoszewski, you already started to performing it for the audience. And tell me please, how they react?
The audience loves the music. And because the music and the poetry, it's a very artistic project. I wouldn't call it a commercial project. And this, I was very impressed with the fact that Sasha decided that she wanted to do an artistic project, one that would be attractive to, well, let's say a smaller, more select audience, people who appreciate new poetry, avant-garde poetry, and people who like jazz. So it's a smaller audience, but it's a very deliberate audience. It's a very stable, I wouldn't necessarily say intellectual, but I guess it leans that way. And so the people that come to the concert are prepared for something really new and something really unique. And the audiences, they love the music, and they are quite surprised that we were able to combine Białoszewski's poetry with music in such a way that it was easy to understand. And we did that on purpose. The music is not so avant-garde that it's over the head intellectually. It's not like that. We created it so that it would, so that anybody listening to it would be, there's beautiful melodies and nice harmonies and very rhythmical ideas and patterns in the music. The audience loves it, and they are hugely impressed with Sasha's vocal ability, because some of the songs are virtually impossible to sing, and she makes it sound easy. That's a strange thing. If you make it sound too easy, then people don't really realize. We artists do that so that people will enjoy it. If it looks like the performer is struggling, then it's not enjoyable. But Sasha's so talented, she makes it look easy, and the audience has responded amazingly to this project. We're very happy about that.
Polish jazz has a long tradition. I would say it's one of the most developed way of singing in Poland. And this thing is still an addition of something new to this huge jazz project in Polish. So what were the responses of people who are very much involved in jazz in Poland? How they reacted to it? Do you know it?
The jazz community is hugely impressed and frankly a bit surprised, because they remember Sasha from 10 years ago, and Sasha's career started in the pop genre. And over the last 4 or 5 years, she has moved into an area of music that she always wanted to perform in. And so the jazz community has watched Sasha move from the pop world to the artistic world. I would say many of them are quite proud of the fact that Sasha has made this move. Some of them are surprised, but pleasantly surprised. Sasha's singing and technical ability is on a world level. It's that good. And the jazz community is recognizing that. They're seeing that. I think maybe they didn't believe it in the beginning that it was possible to do, but they have recognized it, and they recognize that Sasha has worked tremendously hard and for a long time in order to develop those skills and to be able to compete musically, technically, vocally, on a world level. And not that there aren't other Polish musicians and singers who do, but coming from where Sasha came from, this is a huge accomplishment for her, and it's a testament to her ability and talent. And the jazz community is recognizing that. We're happy about that too.
If you're a fan of jazz and you would like to see something new, Self-Portrait, a music project of Sasha Stronin and Gary Guthman, is definitely for you. And thank you for watching Poland Daily Culture.